Chapter 526, Azura Ouyang, Losses to Both Sides. Bian Xixin moved to the front of the troop and without saying much, quickly started the fight with Ouyang by saying, the battle between the two attracted the close attention of countless people. If considering reputation, Shadow Sword Expert could throw Ouyang by saying several streets away. But if considering cultivation and strength, Ouyang by saying was a rank 4 peak stage Gu master who was able to cross a great realm and kill a rank 5 expert, while Shadow Sword Expert was only at rank 4 upper stage. Shadow Sword Expert's Gu worms complemented each other very well, and there was no shortcomings. At the same time, she placed high importance on her movement ability. Her figure turned into shadows and continuously circled around Ouyang by saying, attacking with multiple sword shadows from time to time. Ouyang by saying stayed stationary on the spot as he defended, his body unmoving like the rocks on the shores of the sea. The battle went on for a while, when the sworn brother of Lu Wenwu slowly felt impatient. If you are only of this standard, then go die. He gave a low shout, as great changes appeared over his whole body. His teeth quickly grew longer and sharper like swords, and his 2 pairs of canine teeth protruded out of his mouth like fangs. Green hair started growing out of his bald head. Not only on his head, the green hair grew all over his body. His body made creaking noises and his blood flow instantly slowed down greatly. The originally tall and skinny body became even more thin, but the aura of danger coming from him grew thicker by 10 times. His eyes were no longer human eyes, but had transformed into a pair of eerie and cold green eyes, giving off a glossy jade light. Rank 5. Azura Zombie Gu. This Gu was classified under the most classic zombie series of transformation path. The series of zombie Gu were spread widely throughout the 5 regions. From rank 2 roaming zombie Gu to rank 3 hairy zombie Gu to rank 4 hopping zombie Gu till the rank 5 flying zombie Gu. There were 5 great flying zombie Gu in the world: Azura Zombie, Heavenly Demon Zombie, Blood White, Nightmare Zombie, and Plague Zombie. Many Gu masters who did not have much lifespan left and had no lifespan Gu to increase their life would often choose to turn into zombies to prolong their life, transforming into a monster that was neither human nor ghost. Fang Yuan had already seen Blood White Gu before. At Qingmao Mountain, Gu's first-generation ancestor had turned into Blood White to change his fate in defiance of heaven, but his plan was thwarted by divine investigator Tai Shuelang and others. This Azura Zombie Gu that Ouyang by saying was using was a formidable Gu that was equally famous as Blood White Gu. Clank clank clank. Bian Xixian's sword shadows cut at Ouyang by saying's body, but they actually produced sparks on contact, unable to injure his skin by even a fraction, only cutting. Several green hair. Overlapping shadow Gu. Bian Xixian's eyes flashed with a sharp light. Multiple sword shadows overlaid on top of one another to transform into an abysmally dark and extremely condensed sword. Now this is something. Green light blossomed in Ouyang by saying's pupils as he looked at this sword shadow attack. He was not afraid, but instead was happy. He stretched his right hand in a form of a claw and grabbed at the sword shadow like he was grabbing a rabbit. This. Bian Xixin revealed shock. The sword shadow in her hand could not go an inch further. Gagaga. Ouyang by saying laughed in a haggard and unpleasant tone as he clenched his claw-shaped right palm. Puff. A soft sound echoed. He actually forcibly burst apart the sword shadow. Bian Xixin quickly retreated. The shattered sword shadow burst into many sharp pieces that ruthlessly struck at Ouyang by saying, inflicting several deep wounds on his body, and slashed apart the 4 fingers on his right hand and almost cut apart the whole right fist. Bian Xixin had bitterly accumulated battle merits from several small battles before and exchanged them for overlapping shadow Gu from He Tribe supply camp. Under its effect, the multiple sword shadows offense could merge and could match the offensive prowess of a rank 5 attack Gu. Ouyang by saying was slashed at by the sword shadow, but he did not feel any pain. He had transformed into a zombie, which caused the feeling of pain to almost disappear. At the same time, large amounts of eerie green blood flowed out of the wounds. The wounds were so deep that one could see the bone, but they healed within just few seconds of time. New hair grew on top of it and covered it. His broken fingers also grew again, and it looked like it did not take any effort. Bian Xixian's complexion turned pale white at this sight. Ouyang by saying looked hot-headed when he forcibly grabbed the sword shadow. But it was actually a psychological tactic. After he transformed into Azura Zombie, his defense and recovery ability were raised by several folds. Bian Xixian's strongest attack could not affect him in any way, This unavoidably weakened BNC Xian's will to battle severely. Gu Master's battle strength did not only rely on the amount of primeval essence in their aperture. It also depended on their determination and mental state. I am an assassin, an expert at movement and infiltrating secretly. These challenges between the two armies are done out in the open, and facing someone head-on is not my usual style. Ouyang Bai Sang's performance greatly weakened the battle intent in BNC Xian's heart. In the next several rounds, she kept on attacking while moving around Ouyang Bai Sang, but it was clear her attacking frequency had decreased by a lot compared to before, and she was dodging most of the time. After exchanging 10 more moves, BNC Xian shouted and quickly pulled open a distance from Ouyang Bai Sang, retreating towards He Tribe Camp. At this sight, Lu Tribe Army's morale rose again. While He Tribe's morale shook and the higher-ups did not have good expressions, BNC Xian lost. Is Ouyang Bai Sang really so strong? His killer move is Azura Transformation, having killed a rank 5 expert with this killer move. Now, he has only used Azura Zombie Goo, not even using his full strength, but was still able to defeat Shadow Sword Expert. Shadow Sword Expert did not have a strong will to fight, but by continuously attacking while moving around, she has exhausted a considerable amount of Ouyang Bai Sang's primeval essence. We can send another person to fight with him. The discussion settled and He Tribe Army sent Pan Ping to battle, but within only a short period of time, Pan Ping seemed unable to stall further and panically unsheathed the scimitar on his waist and used Soul Blade Goo. A cold light flashed, but it was in vain. Soul Blade Goo could ignore defense, but it did not work always and had a certain probability. Moreover, once this rank 4 Soul Blade Goo was activated, it needed 8 hours of rest before it could be used again. Ouyang Bai Sang got quite a shock. Despite having read relevant intel, Soul Blade Goo's speed was way faster than what he imagined, making him unable to react in time. I can't leave him alive. Ouyang Bai Sang's killing intent surged as he pounced towards Pan Ping. Pan Ping already knew the situation was bad the moment he saw his attack did not succeed, so he hurriedly retreated. Ouyang Bai Sang pursued him closely. He Tribe quickly sent 3 rank 4 experts to block Ouyang Bai Sang and rescue Pan Ping. The 3 rank 4 experts surrounded Ouyang Bai Sang and attacked fiercely. Ouyang Bai Sang was about to use his killer move, Azura Transformation, when Emo Shi Kuang, who was unable to endure any more, charged out of the main tent and shouted, "Second brother, I will lend you a hand." Ouyang Bai Sang, alone, put He Tribe Army under great pressure. Now adding Emo Shi Kuang on top of that, and the situation turned way worse. Third brother, no need to interfere. What is the use even if there are more people? Look at my Azura Transformation. Ouyang Bai Sang furiously roared under the 3 rank 4 experts' violent attacks and used his killer move. His aura suddenly increased sharply, his body grew bigger, becoming a giant of over 10 feet. The muscles in his whole body inflated like a balloon and quickly transforming into absurd rock-like bulging muscles. And under his pair of arms, 2 new pairs of arms grew out. His body was completely dark green. Hi's feet ripped apart the leather boots and stepped on the grassland, creating a deep crater. The protruding fangs turned dark brown and a third vertical eye opened from the center of his forehead. Howl! Ouyang Bai Sang roared. The berserk sound shaking the whole battlefield. The 3 He Tribe's Goo Masters felt their momentum slowed down. Ouyang Bai Sang waved his fist like swatting a fly, sending one flying far away. The other 2 attacked violently, golden blades striking rapidly like thunder, but Ouyang Bai Sang took it forcibly, his enormous body not even budging. Die. He attacked with all 6 hands, punching, swatting, grabbing, holding, with extremely fierce power. And all his hands moved smoothly, not hindering each other in the slightest. The 2 rank 4 could not take it head-on, and started retreating. Ouyang Bai Sang was not satisfied. His every punch produced a sonic boom with power that caused people to pale. 1 rank 4 Goo Master lasted only a short while under this crazed offense and was smashed into blood paste, while another Goo Master was grabbed by Ouyang Bai Sang. "Don't kill me, don't kill." His pleadings came to an end abruptly. Blood started flowing rapidly out of his 7 facial orifices, his ribs were crushed, and his body started deflating. Ouyang Bai Sang had crushed him to death with 2 hands. So violent. Cunning Gentleman Sun Shi Han involuntarily cried out. He Lu Lan's express turned extremely unsightly, and Tai Bai Yunxing also had a solemn expression. Lu Tribe's army started cheering loudly while He Tribe's Goo Masters were in disorder, their morale falling down to the abyss. Lu Wenwu laughed at this sight before waving his hand. Commence the battle. All troops charge. Immediately, Lu tribe army rushed forward like a flood with the gates opened, bringing a momentum that wanted to drown the world. Mo Shiquang, Pei Yin Fei, and others were leading. He Lu Lan gnashed his teeth and also sent the command for the army to prepare to receive the attack. The large battle unfolded with all kinds of shouts and cries resounding through the battlefield. During the intense battle, Lu tribe's several great experts rampaged everywhere, causing He Lu Lan and the higher-ups to fall into disadvantage at the very start. But at the low level, He tribe was actually winning. Under Fang Yuan's control, the wolf group started wildly slaughtering Lu tribe's Gu masters, while Lu tribe army's Gu masters had no choice but to waste their precious primeval essence against the encroaching wolves. Thus, even if the wolves died, they died after contributing greatly. Lu tribe's Gu masters experts sensed this unfavorably situation and started searching for Fang Yuan. However, Fang Yuan used the same old trick, hiding in some corner of the battlefield. He now already had 3 rank 4 lurking soul coat Gu, and with the concealment from these Gu, as long as he did not use over 80% of his strength, his soul fluctuations would be concealed. This large battle continued from the early morning to evening. The setting sun shone like blood as it shone down on the grassland that was covered with corpses and blood. There was no winner in this battle. Lu tribe suffered disastrous losses in their military forces because of the wolf group. After the Lu tribe's Gu master experts were not able to find Fang Yuan's location, they all concentrated in attacking He tribe's Gu master experts. He tribe's Gu master experts thus suffered serious damage. Mo Shiquang and Ouyang by Sang were difficult to restrain, and almost all the He tribe Gu masters were too terrified to confront them. He tribe's battle intent was dissipating and was barely able to hold on. When the night fell, the night wolves became fierce, and Lu Wenwu, not wanting the lower-ranked Gu master casualties to increase, also had the thought of retreating. The first battle ended up in a draw, with their killing intent gradually calming down as the night progressed. Both sides retreated behind their defense lines to rest and prepare. Chapter 527. Wolf King, Striving for Victory. He tribe's main tent. The atmosphere here was stifling. Almost everyone, including He Lu Lan, was injured. The lofty and grand Gu master experts looked very miserable at this moment. Lu tribe's offense was too fierce. Lu Wenwu, Luo Bojun, and Nya Yiqing are rank 5 experts. Mo Shiquang and Ouyang by Sang are rank 4 peak stage experts with battle strength of rank 5. Furthermore, there are other strong experts like Pei Yin Fei and Chang Biao. Such quality of experts were rarely seen in the past 10 struggles for imperial court. Cunning gentleman Sun Shi Han sighed. Rank 4 Gu masters were already rare. Each was the head of small or mid-sized forces or elders of large-sized forces, and with the high demand of aptitude, rank 5 was even rarer. Even a superforce would only have 2-3 rank 5 Gu masters openly. Actually, when comparing, He tribe was stronger in higher-ranked forces. He Lu Lan, Tai Bai Yunxing, and Gu Guolong were rank 5 experts. And there were over 20 rank 4 experts, including Chang Shan'an, Tang Miaoming, Hao Ji Lu, Bianxi Xian, and Pan Ping. However, even between same-ranked Gu masters, there was a difference in their battle strength. Gu masters were a force that surpassed group battles. Their individual strength could surpass the accumulation of a group. For example, just Fang Yuan alone could slaughter small or mid-sized tribes. In today's battle, Ouyang by Sang, alone, had slaughtered 5 rank 4 Gu masters and 12 rank 3 elders. It was not that He tribe was weak, but that Lu tribe's higher-ranked battle strength was too strong, especially in this battle. Lu tribe had slaughtered many of He tribe's higher-ranked Gu masters, cutting down rank 4 Gu masters to almost half, causing the gap to further increase. The way to deal with the enormous dominance of Lu tribe was a problem He tribe had to quickly come up with a solution for. If I had some time, I could annex several large armies, and with Old Sir's prestige, subdue some experts. Maybe we could contend against Lu tribe's higher-ranked strength then. He Lu Lan sighed, hating Lu Wenwu for choosing this time to attack, not giving him any space to develop. Tai Bai Yunxing immediately realized the deep intent behind He Lu Lan's words. I once rescued Gao Yang and Zhu Zai, and they had said they would repay the favor. I can write them a letter, and maybe they will come over. Everyone's spirits rose. Gao Yang and Zhu Zai were called the twin demons of demonic path in Northern Plains. They always worked together, having great teamwork with each other. These two were both rank 4 peak stage experts and had once killed a rank 5 expert by combining their strength. The pressure on He Lu Lan eased. If I can get Gao Yang and Zhu Zai's help, it can slightly make up for the gap between the two armies. But the events of the battle concerns everyone's life, and we cannot hope for others' mood in repaying the favor. In today's battle, it was thanks to Wolf King that we were able to exterminate large numbers of low-ranked enemy Gu masters, causing an enormous loss to Lu tribe. If it were not for Lu Wenwu feeling hesitation, how could he have retreated so easily? Everyone's gaze landed on Fang Yuan, wanting to hear his thoughts. Fang Yuan had a tranquil expression, not having a trace of injury on his body. He had been hiding while commanding the wolf group in the battle, but he was the one who gained the most battle merits. Most of the ones in the main tent were inwardly infuriated at this, having envious and jealous feelings. But due to the situation, they did not dare to flare up. After the battle, Fang Yuan had been looking through his memories, trying to excavate the information on how He Lu Lan had prevailed over Lu Wenwu, but even after a long time of racking up his brain, he did not get any results. There was way too much information in the memories of his 500 years of past life, and much was forgotten. And from the look of it, this enormous problem that was troubling everyone was no more than just a minor detail in the long river of history in his past life. Feeling everyone's gaze, Fang Yuan raised his eyelids and lightly said, Lu tribe has enslavement path Gu masters, but their strongest expert is only Bei Chao Chuan, whose grass soldier troops is of no importance. Now, both the enemy and us have our strengths. We are like two giants stabbing each other with spears. Lu tribe is strong in terms of higher-ranked Gu masters, while I can slaughter many of their low-ranked Gu masters with my wolf group. Thus, it resulted in the draw today. The way to victory is restraining the enemy's advantage as well as strengthening our advantage. And restraining the enemy's Gu master experts is not an impossible thing. As long as I can have a group of strong wolves as trump cards, I can restrain them. But with this, I will have to use all my strength, and the rank 4 lurking soul coat Gu on me will no longer be able to conceal my soul fluctuations, and thus I will become the enemy's target. Fang Yuan's words caused everyone's eyes to brighten. Trump card wolf group. He Lu Lan lowered his head and mumbled. The current 5 great enslavement masters of Northern Plains were called the 5 Beast Kings. Among them, Horse King Ma Zun has mutated Pegasus group. Eagle King Yang Ping has mutated Thunder Eagle group. Rat King Jiang Baoya has mutated Mountain Drilling Rat group. And the newly advanced enslavement master Leopard King New Air 2 controlled Glimpse Leopard group. Only Wolf King Chang Shan Yin did not have a mutated beast group. Every mature mutated beast possessed the battle strength of rank 4 Gu masters. Once a group of mutated beasts formed, they would be more terrifying than the same amount of Gu masters. After all, Beast Group would charge dauntlessly under the enslavement path Gu masters' control. As Gu masters had all kinds of self-benefits to think about, even if they were under poison vow, they could not be made to fight to the death. If they had a group of mutated beasts, there was a huge chance of killing rank 5 experts. After all, even rank 5 Gu masters were mortals in the end, with limited primeval essence, and there were times when their strength was exhausted. However, making a mutated beast group was too time-consuming of a process and would exhaust enormous energy and resources. To look for a group of mutated wolf group for Fang Yuan in this short period of time, there was only one way: requesting help from He tribe's Gu immortals, the people in the main tent. Even if they did not know the existence of Treasure Yellow Heaven, they were aware of the huge power of Gu immortals. In the history of Northern Plains, there were several examples where Gu immortals organized mutated beast group to provide assistance to their respective force. Mutated beast group is indeed a way out. I will give it a try first. He Lu Lan pondered for a while before saying vaguely, but everyone clearly knew the meaning behind He Lu Lan's words was to request help from the Gu immortal behind him. This immediately caused a new change in the gaze. Everyone looked at Fang Yuan. How could this Wolf King Chang Shanin have such good luck? Making a Gu immortal help him to organize a mutated wolf group. If he had to do this himself, he might not even be able to accomplish it in 20 to 30 years. Why don't we get such benefits? Everyone felt envious and jealous. Ultimately, it was the identity of Chang Shanin that Fang Yuan carried. An enslavement master was in existence that could turn tides around. He tribe was fighting Lu tribe. It was indeed wise to put heavy importance on Fang Yuan and give more resources to him. If I remember right, even if there is a mutated beast group, Lord Wolf King's battle merits is ranked number 1 from the bottom. The last place in the battle merits list, right? Cunning Gentleman was filled with jealousy, kindly reminding as if he had suddenly recalled it. Of course, I can't receive a mutated wolf group for nothing. Fang Yuan righteously nodded. Our rules cannot be broken. I will use battle merits to exchange for it. Of course, my battle merits are insufficient right now, so I can only borrow a bit more. This is something that cannot be helped. Everyone was speechless. Many people shouted inwardly at the same time. Do you feel no shame speaking such words? Do you still want your face? You already borrowed 1,300,000 battle merits before, and you still want to borrow more? In the entire He tribe army, only you have borrowed battle merits. Don't you feel guilt holding that rank 5 amplify effect gil? In fact, Fang Yuan not only did not feel any guilt, instead he said with a not satisfied voice, just a mutated beast group won't do. I still require rank 5 lurking soul coat gil. Unfortunately, refining a rank 5 goo has a success rate that is too low. I have collected 3 rank 4 goo, but I don't dare to fuse them to rank 5. He Lulan gnashed his teeth. The number of times he could request help from the tribe was limited. The more he asked for help, the less the tribe's evaluation of him would be. But there was no other way. He could only nod at Fang Yuan in order to defeat Lu and Wu. I will do something about it. Just as He Lulan and his group were strategizing, Lu and Wu and his group were also planning on how to battle He tribe. In He tribe army, Wolf King Chang Shan-in is the biggest problem. It was because of him that my army suffered disastrous losses in today's battle, with at least 30,000 goo masters dying in the wolves' mouths. Sigh, this number is truly making my heart bleed. Everyone came forward to side with me because they believed in me. But it is because of my incompetence we had to suffer such heavy casualties. In the main tent, Lu and Wu shed tears and sighed. Big brother, how is it your fault? We can only blame those goo masters for being useless. Imo Shi Kuang almost jumped up as he hurriedly retorted. Wolf King Chang Shan-in might have huge reputation, but he is not a true hero. Ouyang Bai Sang, however, loftily snorted. His tone contained disdain. The Grand Wolf King was actually sneakily hiding in some corner like a rat. It really makes people look down upon him. But such a Wolf King is the most troublesome. Lu Wenwu sighed inwardly while opening his weeping eyes and asked the group, do any of you have a good method to deal with Wolf King? Imo Shi Kuang and Ouyang Bai Sang stopped speaking. They were experts at fighting. Things like strategizing were not their strong points. I have a plan. Bei Chao Chuan stood up and said confidently, Wolf King Chang Shan-in was originally Chang tribe's tribesman. Although he spoke of taking revenge, the blood ties he has with Chang tribe is unmistakable and cannot be severed. The current Chang tribe leader Lord Chang Biao was once Chang Shan-yin's best friend. After Chang Shan-in disappeared, Chang Biao married his wife and raised his 3-year-old son who is currently Chang tribe's young tribe leader Chang Jiyu. We might as well try to use this to deal with Wolf King. Who knows if it might be effective? This idea is not bad. Lu Wenwu's eyes gleamed. After the discussion ended, Fang Yuan returned to his large lizard house goo. The problem of refining rank 5 lurking soul coat goo had been hurting his head recently. If he could borrow He tribe's goo immortals' power to organize a mutated beast group and also refine rank 5 lurking soul coat goo, it would be the best. Fang Yuan felt there was a huge chance for this to succeed. Although he could not remember all the minor details of this time's struggle for Imperial Court, but he knew clearly He Lulan was able to enter Imperial Court, and the support of the goo immortal behind He Lulan was inseparable from this. The two sides will at least rest and reorganize for 3 days. In this time, He tribe's goo immortals will have received He Lulan's letter for assistance. Before this, I need to prepare. Thinking of his great plan, the corners of Fang Yuan's lips involuntarily curled up into a smile. Chapter 528, True Martial Secret, Awaiting Assistance. Shao Hun Blessed Land. This place was always covered in dense dark clouds and female-shaped trees grew on the ground. These trees were very peculiar. The tree trunk was curved and branches wrapped around each other like a girl's naked body. The trees were in all kinds of enchanting postures. The female-shaped trees grew all over the place, becoming a forest. In the deepest part of the forest was the tallest female-shaped tree, with a height of 1,000 feet and roots that extended for a range of 10,000 li. This female-shaped tree king, however, did not look seductive, instead giving off pure and holy aura. The tree king's trunk was ramrod straight, giving a highly spirited feeling. Its 2 enormous branches formed into hands that covered the chest. The side branches from them formed into 2 well-developed and large palms that lifted a green treehouse. Red vermilion fruits grew all over the treehouse with reddish-brown rattan twining around them, making the fruits look like hearts. 2 goo immortals were sitting inside this treehouse, both in black clothes. That on the left was an ordinary-looking man who was called He Tribe Stoneman during his young age. He was awkward at conversing but was smart and careful inside. He was He Bai. On the Right side, however, was a handsome man who was radiating with vigor, having eyes that seemed to shine, and appeared confident and at ease. He was He tribe's supreme elder He Cheng, He Lulan's father, and a famous handsome man, as well as the male lead in Su Xian's night elopement. Say, you just returned from Ni, you blessed land. Did you see Dong Fangchong Fan? How is he? He Cheng asked leisurely while taking a sip of tea. He Bai nodded. Senior Dongfang isn't looking for lifespan Gu. There is not much of his lifespan left. He can probably only live for 2-3 years more. But his vision is broad and has magnanimous conduct, already seeing through the trouble of life and death, and only wants to wholeheartedly nurture his successor Dong, Fang Yuan now. Magnanimous conduct, broad vision? He Cheng scoffed, shaking his head in disdain. Brother, you saw wrong. Dong Fangchong Fan is a genuine petty person. He schemed against the northern plains and is extremely insidious, and so is hated by all the Gu immortals. If it was not so, he could have already bought lifespan Gu. Why would he have fallen into this state? I have been secretly investigating over these years and have discovered he had a hand in my wife, Su Xian'er's death. He Cheng revealed this secret information, causing He Bai to be extremely startled. What? There was such a thing. He Bai exclaimed in shock. Su Xian'er was He Cheng's wife. Over 200 years back, Su Xian'er was no more than a daughter of a concubine in Su tribe, and while she poured wine for Lord He Cheng back then in the banquet, He Cheng immediately fell in love at first sight. In that banquet, He Cheng was poisoned by Su tribe leader, his strength fell to the bottom, and he was hunted down. After Su Xian'er accidentally learned of it, she resolutely rushed out of the tribe in the dead of night to rescue He Cheng, whom she had only met once at that time. Su Xian'er only had rank 1 cultivation, and ferocious beasts roamed the night grassland that were beyond her ability to contend. But under the play of fate, she was able to find the unconscious He Cheng. He Cheng was thus saved and managed to live. He had then asked Su Xian'er with suspicion, I was plotted against by your tribe leader, and you are a Su tribesman. Why would you save an enemy of your tribe? Su Xian'er had answered, Lord has a noble spirit. This humble girl fell in love at first sight. Su tribe leader is short-sighted and plotted against Lord under the persuasion of some petty people, but he never considered the result of offending He tribe. If he was allowed to have his way, Su tribe is destined to become a sacrificial pawn between 2 super tribes. People say Lord repays a favor received by 100 times. This humble girl saved Lord today and only hopes Lord can give me a place to stay. It is just and proper for Lord to take revenge against Su tribe, but I hope Lord can be merciful and leave behind a trace of bloodline for Su tribe. The moonlight shone on the jade-like beauty with slender and fair hands. He Cheng was overwhelmed at this sight. He tightly held Su Xian'er's hand and swore, Your love is as deep as the sea. I, He Cheng, am not a cruel person. How could I not repay you? From today onwards, you will be my only wife. I will not care for any other beauties, no matter how beautiful they are. In this life, I will never betray you. Su Xian'er saving He Cheng was akin to betraying the tribe. He Cheng was very grateful and interlinked with her as husband and wife. From that day onwards, the two helped each other, loving and respecting each other their whole life. 100 years later, both became Gu immortals, becoming a story that spread far and wide in northern plains. And Su Xian's night elopement was also spread wide, encouraging countless women to bravely take the initiative to love. He Bai's mood became solemn. Could it be over 20 years ago sister-in-law did not die because of the blessed land's earthly calamity? He Cheng scoffed. There was indeed an earthly calamity, but the earthly calamity was influenced by people. Don't forget, brother, old ancestor giant son, immortal venerable, has such methods. Dongfang tribe has entered imperial court many times as a tribe with Huangjin bloodline. They might have received an inheritance relevant to such methods from 88 Truyang building. Sigh, I only have a little evidence. It is not enough to prove Dong Fangchong Fan as the main culprit. He Bai remained dazed for quite a while before sighing. You really can't judge people by appearance. He Cheng patted his shoulder and comforted in a gentle voice. Brother, you have become a Gu immortal for less than 10 years. Gu immortals' circle might not be big, but the treacherous conspiracies inside it are much deeper than between mortals. Hei Bai was just about to speak, when his expression blanked. Hei Lu Lan has sent a letter. Hei Qing nodded, and with a shift of his mind, loosened the defense over Shao Hun blessed land by a little. The space opened up and in flew a butterfly. Hei Bai stretched his right hand. This butterfly fluttered and gently landed on his palm. This was rank 5 butterfly letter Gu. Hei Bai closed his eyes and concentrated on the butterfly letter Gu from Hei Lu Lan, containing his request. What is it? Did that disappointing child of mine ask you for help again? When Hei Bai opened his eyes, Hei Chung snorted and asked with a displeased tone. Hei Bai forced a smile. Brother, Hei Lu Lan is you and sister-in-law, Su Xianer's son. Although sister-in-law suffered and fell seriously ill when giving birth to Hei Lu Lan, leading to her strength being greatly diminished and thus passing away in the earthly calamity several years later, the child is still innocent. You should not disregard him because of it. You even gave him to the 27th concubine Fairy Jianyu to adopt and did not allow him to light an incense to pay respects to his own mother. Hei Chung snorted with dissatisfaction, but did not argue. Hei Bai sighed. This is your family affair, and it is truly not my place to meddle. But I have given a lot of thoughts to Big Brother's actions. You sent Hei Lu Lan to be adopted by the childless Fairy Jianyu in order to preserve Hei Lu Lan's life, though her immortal Gu dark limit. Hei Lu Lan has the 10 extreme physique, great strength, true martial. To stimulate his spirit, you gave him a condition that as long as he advanced to Gu immortal, he could light the incense for his mother. Little brother deeply admire your actions, but big brother, your way of doing things will only deepen the misunderstandings between father and son. It is not a good method looking at the long-term drawbacks. Hei Chung heaved a sigh, not replying Hei Bai, but instead asked, what did that child mention in the request? Hei Bai clapped his palm and smiled. Look, big brother, you showed indifference, but you still care about nephew's safety in your heart. Nephew hopes we can prepare a mutated wolf group, and also a rank 5 lurking soul coat Gu. Humph, this kid is truly insolent. Lurking soul coat Gu is okay, but our Hei tribe does not have mutated wolf group. Right now, our Hei tribe is battling Lu tribe. Lu tribe's current generation tribe leader Lu and Wu is not someone who can be underestimated. Back then, the inheritance of Harmony Immortal fell in his hand. He has 2 sworn brothers. Both are fierce warriors and can match 10,000 soldiers. However, nephew Lu Lan also has a great general under him, Wolf King Chang Shan-yin. This time's request is because he has placed his hopes on Chang Shan-yin. Hei Bai explained. Hei Chung mumbled. Rank 5 lurking soul coat Gu is no issue. I have one with me. But mutated wolf group would have to be purchased from Treasure Yellow Heaven. I will have to request brother for this. Hei Bai quickly shook his hand. Brother, you don't have to be so polite. I still need to rely on nephew to enter Imperial Court and find Immortal Gu wooden chicken in 88 True Yang building. Hei Chung heaved a long sigh and said with an exhausted voice, great strength true martial physique needs a strength path Immortal Gu to advance to Gu Immortal Realm. Unfortunately, Immortal Gu are very difficult to find. Our Hei tribe also does not have any strength path Immortal Gu. Success and failure is decided by heaven. We can only try our best. We have already done all we can. Now everything will depend on Hei Lu Lan's efforts and luck. Parents are truly constantly worrying about their children. Hei Bai sighed inwardly and said his farewell to Hei Chung. After he returned to his Ku-Mu blessed land, he immediately connected to Treasure Yellow Heaven and started buying mutated wolves. Wolf emperors could be considered as a strength of blessed land. It was very hard to find Gu immortals selling them. But mutated wolves were only equivalent to rank 4 and were much easier to find. Hei Bai was not worried. Mutated beasts were not rare and precious goods, and as long as one had sufficient immortal essence stones, they could buy a large group of them. Of course, spending a lot to buy the mutated wolf group was a loss to Hei Bai. But he was planning for a Immortal Gu in 88 True Yang building, and it was right for him to invest in the early stages. Imperial Court Blessed Land was the work of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, and unless one reached rank 9, no Gu immortals could enter inside. After the news of buying mutated wolf group in high price was spread, Hei Bai soon received a divine sense from someone called Fox Immortal. Fox Immortal had over 100 mutated wolves and quoted a rather high price for them. They were clearly taking advantage of Bai's difficulty. Bai had already anticipated such a situation. It was only that he had not expected this fox immortal to move so quickly at the chance. He gnashed his teeth and bought this group of mutated wolves. The one selling this group of mutated wolves was none other than Little Hu Immortal, who had received Fang Yuan's instructions. Previously, they had resold immortal goo recipes and earned dozen or so immortal essence stones. Fang Yuan had then instructed Little Hu Immortal to purchase purple crystal relic goo and also look for any wolf groups sold cheaply at Treasure Yellow Heaven and buy them. Thus, Hu Immortal Blessed Land had accumulated over 100 mutated wolves. Among them were Blood Forest Wolf, Berserk Wolf, Shark Fin Wolf, White Eyes Wolf, and others. Now, by reselling these mutated wolves at high price to Bai, they had profited quite a bit for Fang Yuan. He was calmly resting in the camp, waiting for tribe's assistance. Chapter 529, Diligence Despite Transmigration. 529 Diligence Despite Transmigration. Translator. Chibi General Editor. Chibi General, it was difficult to move through the muddy swamp, but Ma Tribe's army was in high spirits. The happiness of annexing Do Tribe army as well as the excitement of a decisive victory could still be seen on everyone's faces. Maing Jia was riding a horse, and as he looked at the generals and soldiers around him with satisfaction, as an investigative Gu master brought him the latest battle reports, he opened up the documents and read, He Tribe and Lu Tribe has begun to fight. The first battle resulted in a draw, and currently, both are garrisoned opposite each other. The situation is in a stalemate. Yi Lui army was ambushed at night by the Seven Army Alliance. Yi Lui Sang was very powerful and defeated 6 rank 5 experts one after another, but he was only one person and was unable to save the situation. Currently, Yi Lui Tribe's remnant army is fleeing towards Qing and region. Rat King Jiang Baoya has accepted Yang Tribe's invitation and has officially entered Yang Tribe's alliance. New Air 2 army has not resumed their expedition, instead resting and capturing huge numbers of leopard groups. These battle reports caused Maing Jie to smile with joy. He Lulan and Lu Wenwu are popular candidates to win this time's Imperial Court contest. I did not think these two would confront each other this early. It will be good if they both suffer. Since Yi Lui Sang obtained Immortal Gu, he is a one-man army. But for Yi Lui Tribe to be suddenly attacked by the 7 armies, Snowy Mountain most likely has influence behind it. Ma Tribe, to advance to a super tribe, had secretly joined hands with demonic Path Gu immortals who were coveting after 88 True Yang building. Maing Jia was Ma Tribe's young tribe leader, and thus was aware of the undertable deals of the tribes. Northern Plains was like a huge chessboard while the Gu immortals were the chess players. Besides Righteous Path Gu masters, Demonic Path Gu immortals also had their own pawns whom they supported. And as the tribes with Huang Jin bloodline were willing to join hands with Demonic Path Gu immortals in order to have a better survival chance. If they lost in the struggle for Imperial Court, these tribes would often enter the blessed lands of the Demonic Path Gu immortals to escape from the blizzard disaster. Immortal Gu were rare, that Yi Lui Tribe's Supreme Elder had entrusted an Immortal Gu to Yi Lui Sang. It was equivalent to placing a bet in this game. According to the rules set by Giant Sun, Immortal Venerable, as long as Immortal Gu were snatched by mortals in the struggle for Imperial Court, the Gu immortals cannot take them back. Such a huge bet had its corresponding risk. It was because of the Immortal Gu on Yi Lui Sang that caused him to be the target of Gu immortals. Thus they incited 7 armies to ambush Yi Lui army. Rat King has joined Yang Tribe, which means an alliance of Rat King and Eagle King Yang Pering, causing this underdog Yang Tribe to become a new contender to win the struggle for Imperial Court. But Yang Tribe's foundations are far inferior to our Ma Tribe, and Rat King was also already crippled. They aren't of much threat to us. Although New Heir 2 is called Leopard King, his leopard group has been inflicted heavy losses. However, he has been capturing wild leopard groups by himself without asking for help from the Gu immortal behind him. This is a bit strange, but overall, my Ma Tribe's situation is still much better. Our next opponents are weaker than us. As long as we keep on winning, continue to devour other tribes and expand, our hopes of entering Imperial Court will become bigger and bigger. Ma Yingjie could not help clenching his fists at this, his eyes letting out a fierce light. The ambitions and goals of a man were pushing him to establish great feats and accomplishments. And at the same time, within the high-spirited army was a little girl who was weeping in a carriage. Lady Xiao Yun, don't keep on grieving. Your father's death was a heart-rending event, but you need to eat. If not, you will faint from hunger. Beside the little girl, the anxious Fei Kai was comforting her in a clumsy way. This weeping little girl was none other than Zhao Lianyun. Her father, Zhao tribe's leader, had sacrificed his life in the previous large battle. Losing the protection of the father who loved her dearly, Zhao Lianyun immediately felt her world toppling. On the very night of her father's death, her stepmother remarried the new Zhao tribe leader, and Zhao Lianyun's position took a sharp dive. There will always be deaths in war. This is normal. My father was also killed by others. Fei Kai continued to persuade Zhao Lianyun when he saw she was still crying. Zhao Lianyun suddenly raised her head while sobbing, looking at Fei Kai with an insoluble hatred in her tear-filled eyes, and kicked him. You idiot! You don't even know how to comfort people. The sorrow in her heart was not fake. Although she inexplicably arrived in this world, and it had not been long since her arrival, her father's love towards her was filled with sincerity. She was very grateful for this genuine love, and her dependence on him had slowly grown into true affection. But now, her father had died in the battlefield, making her alone and helpless. Missy, you were hiding here. You really caused much trouble for me. Quick, follow me. Your mother is calling you. At this time, the curtain of the carriage was lifted open by the old caretaker, who then grabbed Zhao Lianyun's small arm. Zhao Lianyun struggled and shouted, My mother is dead. She is not my mother. I won't go. This is not up to you. The old caretaker scoffed and tried to forcibly drag Zhao Lianyun out of the carriage. When she had been serving Zhao Lianyun, she was teased and pranked by Zhao Lianyun time and again. Now, as she looked at Zhao Lianyun's miserable state, the old caretaker felt the pleasure of taking revenge. Let go of Lady Xiao Yun. Fei Kai shouted and punched the old caretaker. The old caretaker fell out of the carriage from this heavy punch. She stood up and touched her eye that had become purple from the bruise. She screamed in a shrill voice. You hit me. A slave dared to hit a civilian? Who gave you such big guts? I will report you. You are going to die. You will be skinned alive, and your corpse will be hung up in the sunlight till it dries up. The old caretaker was extremely furious, and with her unkempt hair and sinister gaze, she looked like a hopping old hen. However, her scream had indeed attracted the surrounding people. Fei Kai clenched his fists and furiously stared at the old caretaker while firmly protecting Zhao Lianyun behind him. Zhao Lianyun pushed aside Fei Kai's arm and stood on the carriage. Her fair face still had tear stains. She looked at the old caretaker and scoffed. What was it? You want to punish Fei Kai? All right, report him, but according to the rules, you need to first inform his master to demand compensation. Since it is so, go look for young tribe leader. Fei Kai is Lord Ma Yingjie's slave leader. What? The old caretaker cried out in shock. Her screams abruptly stopped, and the anger in her heart dissipated like a tide, only leaving behind an extreme terror. This rash, stupid kid was actually Lord Ma Yingjie's personal slave? Moreover, he was Lord Ma Yingjie's slave leader who was in charge of his everyday life. One needed to look at the owner before beating the dog. The old caretaker might be a civilian with a status higher than that of a slave, but it was a different matter when Fei Kai was Ma Yingjie's slave leader. If she truly reported recklessly, she might instead be sacrificed by Zhao tribe. After the shock, the old caretaker who had lost her face greatly looked gloomy. She rigidly stared at Zhao Lianyun. Little girl, even young tribe leader Ma Yingjie's slave leader cannot protect you. You are a person of Zhao tribe. Even after your death, you will be our Zhao tribe's ghost. Your mother is our Zhao tribe's current tribe lady. Listen to me properly. Tribe lady has already arranged your marriage to Wei tribe's eldest young master. Now behave properly. What? Zhao Lianyun involuntarily cried out. Marrying to Wei tribe's eldest young master is your blessing. The old caretaker sinisterly smiled. Zhao Lianyun's whole body shook and fell down on the wooden board of the carriage. Lady Xiao Yun. Fei Kai quickly supported her. The old caretaker felt incomparable pleasure at this sight and left with immense satisfaction. She still needed report to Zhao tribe's tribe lady. Zhao Linyun was expressionlessly. This immense shock left her in a dazed state filled with despair, allowing Fei Kai to hold her in the carriage. For 3 days, she curled up at a corner of the carriage, without moving or speaking. Fei Kai's persuasion was of no use, and could only helplessly feed her. Zhao Linyun was like a wooden puppet, letting Fei Kai control her. Fei Kai also could not accompany her all the time, and every time Ma Yingjie summoned him, he would immediately leave. This sudden change of events and this ice-cold reality shattered the foolish pride Zhao Linyun had as a transmigrator. She suddenly had a profound realization. A transmigrator is nothing special. Why did I think I could whip up a storm in this world after being so ordinary in my previous world? Moreover, women were discriminated in Northern Plains and were treated as goods to be used for political marriage. Northern Plains women could only adhere to men and could not refuse a man's forceful marriage. This was a rule set by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Previously, when she heard of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's deeds, she felt like she was listening to a story, listening to a legend of a hero. But now, she was personally experiencing the torment caused by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Women are like clothes while brothers are like our hands and feet. This was the favorite catchphrase of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. He pulled apart the status of man and woman to an extremely unfair level. Now he had become the most detestable person in Zhao Linyun's heart. No wonder Su Xian's night elopement story pierced so deep into people's hearts, causing Northern Plains women to eagerly imitate it. Rather than passively suffering fate's arrangement, it is better to take the initiative to chase after one's happiness. But this carries unknown risks. As she thought of this, Zhao Linyun's awareness of the vile living environment deepened by another layer. Wei tribe's eldest young master is a famous trash. He is fat like a pig with pockmarks all over his face and only at rank 1 peak stage, but is extremely lecherous and very fickle-hearted. It is because of his incompetence, Wei tribe's young tribe leader position went to his younger brother. I won't marry that pig even if I die. But what should I do? I am only a mortal, and since I haven't reached 13, I cannot awaken my aperture and cannot cultivate. It is also possible that I don't have any cultivation aptitude. And the person who killed my father is Do Yi, a rank 5 Gu master who has sided with Ma tribe now and is now a higher-up of the alliance. Who can I rely on? What path should I take? Bewilderment, hesitation, and fear filled Zhao Linyun's heart. In the early morning of the 4th day, Fei Kai lifted up the carriage curtain and entered with food and clean water. The light of the dawn followed the curtain opening and shone on Zhao Linyun's face. Zhao Linyun woke up, slowly opening her swollen eyes. You brought food? She grabbed the food from Fei Kai's hand and began to devour it. Lady Xiaoyun, are you okay? Fei Kai was happy at this change. Yes, I have thought it through. It is better to rely on myself. Although I have been bound by the wedding betrothment, it can only be implemented when I am 16. I still have time. Zhao Linyun's gaze shone like fire. Ah, Lady Xiaoyun, you don't accept the betrothal? Fei Kai was startled. In his impression, Northern Plains could only accept their fate when their marriage was decided. Zhao Linyun rolled her eyes and spoke in a righteous tone. Humph, I am not an ordinary person. I absolutely won't compromise. But I cannot go to the tribe now and can only live here for some time and rely on you, Fei Kai. No problem. Fei Kai patted his chest, laughing foolishly. Zhao Linyun's heart warmed and her tone turned softer. Fei Kai, your father also died in battlefield? Yes, he died. I was heartbroken during that time. But death is normal in Northern Plains. Father died in battle. He died a glorious death. Fei Kai said with a smile. As expected, winter takes it all. Under the dazzling and splendid throne lies a path of bones. Zhao Linyun sighed, before cursing. What a scam. I crossed over to this world and have yet to mature, but my fate has already been decided by others. I can't even begin to feel anger. A letter was placed in front of Fang Yuan. This special letter was openly sent by the enemy and was now brought over by cunning gentleman's son Shirhan. Fang Yuan opened it and read. This letter was personally written by Chang Biao, reminiscing the past and how they were on opposite sides now. He was inviting Wolf King to have a discussion before the battle and reminisce about the old times. And at that time, he could let Chang Jiyu meet his father. Great ploy. Fang Yuan scoffed and placed down the lettered AT this time. Sun Shirhan smiled. The mutated wolf group and rank 5 lurking soul code Gu have both arrived. But the higher-ups of the alliance are hesitating because of this letter. They are hoping Lord Wolf King would battle against your kin in the name of righteousness to prove your innocence. Otherwise, I'm afraid this mutated wolf group. Chibi General translator, blame yourself for not having your OPMC hacks. Something like an AI chip or an old man stuck in your brain would easily get you out of this. Chapter 530. Adjusting his appearance for him. Lu tribe defense line. Inside the camp tent. Mother, what kind of person was father? Chang Jiyu had a hesitant expression. After a long while, he asked the burning question in his heart. He had never met Chang Shan-yin. Back then when Chang Shan-yin's mother died from poison, and when Chang Shan-yin fought to the death with Hatu Gu. Chang Jiyu was only an unborn child in his mother's womb. His mother and I Shui Tong had a frowned expression as she breathed out, using a nostalgic tone. My child, has your heart wavered? Don't forget our current circumstances. Don't worry about your father. He is a legend in Northern Plains. Back then he killed Hatu Gu and the bandits single-handedly. He is a hero who exterminated a great threat for the people. Chang Jiyu interrupted his mother. Mother, I'm sick of hearing that. Since birth, I've been hearing these stories all my life. Wherever I go, whatever I do, people will say, oh look, as expected of Chang Shan-yin's son. Father is like the eagle in the sky, flying high and casting his shadow on the ground. In a few days, I will be meeting him. My heart is in a mess. I just want to hear his. Chang Jiyu was still speaking when the tent flap was opened, as a domineering middle-aged man with a powerful aura walked in. It was Chang tribe's current tribe leader. Chang Shan-yin's brother, rank 4 upper stage wind path expert. Chang Biao, greetings to Lord Stepfather. Chang Jiyu quickly paid respects. My child, go out first. I need to talk with your mother. Chang Biao said gently. Yes. Chang Jiyu had to leave the tent. Once the flap was closed, with the guards outside, there were only Chang Biao and Enai Shuitong left in the tent. Husband. Enai Shuitong jumped into Chang Biao's embrace, tears flowing out of her weak and feeble eyes. Sigh. I know you have been feeling terrible these days. Chang Biao embraced Enai Shuitong as he caressed her hair softly. At the same time, he used his goo worm to isolate the place from the outside. Enai Shuitong sobbed. Yuer has been asking me about Chang Shan-yin again. What should I say? Do you know? Just now I had the urge and almost told him the truth, that he is not Chang Shan-yin's flesh and blood, that he is the crystallization of our love. Chang Biao's body shuddered. He was also feeling great conflict and pain in his heart. He solemnly said, this is all my fault for being useless. Back then we were childhood friends. It was Chang Shan-yin who came into the picture abruptly and lusted after your beauty. On the day of our marriage, he snatched you away. I was not his match. I could only find you at night secretly, and that resulted in our son Chang Jiyu. But once he was born, if his bloodline was examined, the truth would be out and we would be doomed. Thus, I and Hatu Gu cooperated and plotted against Chang Shan-yin. Next, I used my status as Chang Shan-yin's brother to marry you and make Chang Jiyu my godson. These years, although the tribe isn't in good shape, this is the happiest years of our lives. Chang Jiyu was successfully made young tribe leader by me, but precisely so, you cannot expose this secret. Once the secret is exposed, Chang Biao and Enai Shuitong would get publicly shamed. They would be called an adulterous couple, and they will never be able to raise their heads again. They even caused harm to an expert of the tribe. For their own selfish motives, they disregarded the tribe's situation. It was truly a heinous crime. As for Chang Jiyu, he would be the shameful, illegitimate child. Be it his young tribe leader position, or Chang Biao's tribe leader position, they would be at risk of being taken, as people with ambitions would target them. Righteous Path had its own rules. All along, Chang Biao had been taking care of his deceased brother's wife, and treated his godson as his own. Such brotherhood was admirable, such gracefulness was praised widely, and exactly because of this, Chang Biao held a small advantage and became Chang tribe's new tribe leader. Once this truth was exposed, he would lose everything. The ambitionists in the tribe would not let him go. In order to recruit Chang Shan-yin, Luan Wu would not give up this chance. By then, his only option would be to escape with Enai Shuitong and his own flesh and blood Chang Jiyu, becoming a demonic Gu master. He would be despised by his tribe and chased by his tribe. Why? Why? Why is longevity heaven doing this to us? We love each other so dearly, yet we end up in such a spot. Chang Shanin was the real culprit. He is an evil person. Why is he praised? As for us, we can only wear a mask to live, even lying to our own son. And I Shui Tong cried profusely. She was very emotional. These days, she had been under a lot of pressure. Ever since Chang Shanin reappeared, she had not been sleeping well. Her former nightmare reappeared, causing her to fall into deep worry. Do you think that Lu Tribe Alliance leader is trying to recruit Chang Shanin? If Chang Shanin agrees, would we have to go back to that life? Chang Shanin is taking revenge everywhere now. Will he find out the fact that we plotted against him? If he returns to the tribe, what will we do? Lying in her lover's embrace, Anai Shui Tong asked multiple questions as she raised her neck. It won't happen. It won't. Don't think of it as such a severe situation. Chang Biao gently consoled the woman of his life. Firstly, Chang Shanin has not found out we were the culprit. Otherwise, with his nature, he would have declared it long ago and caused our reputation to go down the drain. He is only suspicious of Chang tribe having a traitor, but he does not know who. Lu Alliance leader does want to recruit Chang Shanin. He is Wolf King after all, an enslavement path master. Any alliance would welcome him and get his assistance. But Lord Lu Wenwu is not a normal person. He knows clearly in his heart that there is little hope of getting the Wolf King to come over. His greatest intention is to sow discord and waver the Wolf King's fighting spirit. Think about it. Chang Shanin does not know about Chang Jiyu's true identity. He thinks this is his son. As a father, what would he be thinking? Blood is thicker than water. When Chang Shanin thinks about Chang Jiyu being killed by his wolf group, would he go all out in the upcoming battle? Is that so? Anai Shui Tong heard this and calmed down. All right, stop worrying. I am here. Chang Biao patted Anai Shui Tong's back with an affectionate gaze. The tent was filled with the warmth of love. But this kind of atmosphere, how long would it last? Neither Chang Biao nor Anai Shui Tong had any confidence in this. Whoosh! A person broke the large lizard house goose window and crashed in. Cunning gentleman Sun Shurhan sprawled on the ground. His face was bruised as he shouted loudly with a fearful and vicious expression. Wolf King attacked. Wolf King attacked me. He is revolting. He is murdering us. Help! Save me! Sun Shurhan was a popular person near Heilu Lan. His shouts quickly attracted many Gu masters. Fang Yuan snorted, jumping out of the window and giving Sun Shurhan another kick. Sun Shurhan did not dare to activate his Gu worm. He could only evade. But Fang Yuan changed his attack just in time, sweeping with his right fist and slamming into Sun Shurhan's nose. Sun Shurhan groaned. Just as he got up from the ground, he fell again. His entire face was full of blood. His nose bridge was broken and 2 of his front teeth fell out. He was in a pathetic state. But the Gu masters who came did not do anything. They breathed a sigh of relief secretly. Be it Fang Yuan or Sun Shurhan. They did not use their Gu worms. This was not breaking the rules. It was merely a small scuffle. When people interacted, there was bound to be conflict. As arguments occur, it was normal to get physical. As long as Gu worms were not used to fight, the poison vow would not be violated. Chang Shanin, you are too arrogant. Your wife and children are at the enemy's camp. I am only reminding you out of kindness. You actually got furious and beat me. You are definitely guilty. Sun Shurhan crawled up, shouting with his shrill voice. The words caused the surrounding Gu masters to talk among themselves. Chang tribe and Chang Shanyin's relationship was known to all. These days, Pei tribe army had been talking about it. Seeing Sun Shurhan's smug and vicious gaze, Fang Yuan laughed in disdain. He did not say a thing, but instead responded with his fist. Bam, bam, bam. Fang Yuan's attacks were full of strength. Although Sun Shurhan had some strength path foundation, how could it compare to Fang Yuan's immense investment in the strength path? After several moves, he was beaten on the floor again, lying there as he was punched and kicked. Wolf King is amazing. Although he is an enslavement path master, his strength path foundation is very strong. Everyone was shocked. Great fight. I had wanted to thrash this scoundrel cunning gentleman long ago. Some of the army's higher-ups smirked. Chang Shanin, you think I am easy to bully. Sun Shurhan was thrashed until his body felt pain all over. His head was in a daze as his heart was filled with rage and humiliation. You still have the strength to speak. Fang Yuan snorted as he unleashed another round of punches. Sun Shurhan was beaten to a pulp. He vomited blood as his front teeth all fell off. Even the teeth at the back of his mouth were shaking. Wolf King is so ruthless. Sun Shurhan is a rank 4 expert after all. To think he was beaten defenseless. What a weakling. Stupid. He made a poison vow and could not use Gu worms. In terms of close combat, Wolf King is an enslavement path master. he would definitely be suppressed by Sun Han. The discussions became louder. Be it Changshan Yin or Sun Han, they were people with great authority. Right now they were brawling it out. Such a scene was rare. Everyone was watching with bright eyes. Sun Han heard the comments and felt humiliated. He almost gritted his teeth off. Although he barely had any left, he wanted to resist. But neither his strength nor moves were Fang Yuan's match. He could not take a thrashing. Endure. I must endure. If I use a gu, I would truly lose. I need to wait for Alliance leader to come and uphold justice for me. Chang Shanin will get it. Sun Han screamed in his heart. Alliance leader is here. Greetings to Lord Alliance leader. The surrounding people went into chaos as they quickly gave way. He Lulan, Hao Ji Lu, and others came to the area. Seeing this, He Lulan frowned as he asked Fang Yuan coldly, "What is going on?" Sun Han's body shuddered. Using a mystical source of strength, he struggled as he crawled up and shouted, "Alliance leader, please seek justice for me." Plop. Before he finished, Fang Yuan stepped on his head as he used great force, causing Sun Han's entire face to sink into the soil. He Lulan shouted loudly, "Stop it! Wolf King, what are you doing?" He is revolting. He is revolting. Sun Han shouted loudly. His mouth was filled with soil as he spoke unclearly. Fang Yuan sneered, exerting strength and stepping 3 times, burying Sun Han's voice in the soil. Sun Han's nose and mouth were blocked. His head also suffered a great hit. He felt dizzy and suffocation. His limbs struggled wildly, but he could do nothing against Fang Yuan's strength. He Lulan's face turned pitch black like charcoal. Fang Yuan's gaze was like a dagger, staring coldly at him and the Gu masters behind him. "Can't you all see what I am doing? I am thrashing him." He Lulan stared at Fang Yuan angrily, shouting, "Wolf King, give me a clear explanation. Why did you beat him up? Are you really trying to rebel?" Fang Yuan laughed in disdain, saying slowly, "No need to be angry, He tribe leader. If I wanted to rebel, why would I need to make such a din?" Saying so, he let go of Sun Han. Sun Han lost the pressure and bounced up, desperately gasping for air like he was suffocating. But Fang Yuan stepped again, this time on his right cheek. Sun Han used both his hands to pull Fang Yuan's feet, but he was already weak and out of energy. Just like this, he was stepped on the face by someone in public. His reputation was ruined. Fang Yuan said slowly and casually, "Although I have not thought of rebelling, I do not want any schemes or plots to fall on my wife and children. During the battle, I will do my part and fight with my full strength. By then, if they die, that would be their honor to die on the battlefield. Since I, Wolf King, have joined the He army, I would not change my stance just because of relationships." However, saying so, he raised his head as he laughed arrogantly. "It is your own business to be suspicious. That has nothing to do with me. All the mutated beast groups that I want are exchanged using my battle merit. This is a fair trade. I have never owed you anything. Hey tribe leader, if you are suspicious of me, you can take away the mutated beast wolf groups and not let me control them. In the future battle, I swear in the name of the Wolf King, I will still go all out." You. He Lulan was furious. Fang Yuan ignored his threat, and in fact, threatened him instead. "Being suspicious is your problem. You can keep the mutated wolves to yourselves. If we lose the battle, that will be your responsibility." Can He Lulan not give them to him? He had the great strength true martial physique. Even if he used Dark Limit Immortal Gu, he was starting to feel the inability to suppress it. He needed a Strength Path Immortal Gu to advance to Gu Immortal Realm. However, Wolf King created a din and made everyone know about this. If he did not give him the mutated beast group, what would the army think of him? They would think that He Lulan refused to utilize Wolf King despite him being here. Like the saying goes, a man being used cannot be suspected while a suspected man cannot be used. If he loses the battle, everyone would begrudge He Lulan. "Good, you are amazing, Wolf King." He Lulan's gaze was cold. He laughed out of anger. "Of course I know the Wolf King's loyalty, but why did you beat up Sun Han? He's your alliance mate. The enemy is before us, yet you engage in internal scuffle. What are you trying to do?" Fang Yuan shrugged. "This is my fault. Because this Sun Han looks way too ugly, he made my heart feel bad. Thus, I thrashed him and adjusted his appearance for him. As expected, he looks much better now. This was my personal action. I will take responsibility for it. According to the rules, I have to compensate Sun Han 10,000 battle merits. No worries, I will compensate him." Sun Han heard this and his anger rushed to his brain. He vomited out a mouthful of blood and fainted. The words made all the Gu master experts present unable to hold in their laughter. It was too satisfying. There were many who were unhappy with this scoundrel Sun Han. Fang Yuan's assault was truly soothing their hearts. Even Tai Bai Yunxing's gaze towards Fang Yuan turned to admiration. He felt that although this Chang Shan was ruthless, he did not strike at his family, but still maintained his righteousness and standpoint. He had his limits and was a true man. He Lu Lan's expression turned even darker. Sun Han was his man. Fang Yuan beating him up in public was also slapping He Lu Lan's face. Fang Yuan said it easily, but his battle merits were still in the negative. But what could He Lu Lan do? To deal with Lu tribe army, he needed to rely on the Wolf King's strength. Threatening the Wolf King was to make him carry the sin of killing his own tribesmen, so that his reputation would be affected, allowing He Lu Lan to control him more easily. But since threats had no effect, He Lu Lan only had one option left. That was to comply.